Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit True of My Chest and it's by user My Life Is So Effed. I, 30 male, think my fiance's 27 female, cousin's 34 female child is mine. My fiancée, Sarah, and I have been together for 3 years. She's actually my first serious girlfriend since middle school. I will honestly admit I've been a complete piece of crap with women for most of my teens and 20s and pretty much used women. I'm saying all this to explain how promiscuous I was in the past. Sarah knows about my past and she's grown to accept it. We met at work and she hated me because she saw right through me. After pursuing her for close to a year, she finally agreed to date and the rest is history. We've been living together for 2 years now and I've grown incredibly close to her parents too, and she also loves my family. The past 3 years have been the best of my life and I'm so excited to spend the rest of my life with her. This weekend, her cousin and her family are in town. She's really close with her cousin Lauren, a miracle I haven't met her yet. I was always busy for some reason or another the few times she's visited in the last 3 years. So, I finally met Lauren and her husband for dinners at Sarah's parents' place. She immediately stares at me a bit wide-eyed and I can't help but think she looks familiar. We're all being introduced to each other and Lauren, for the most part, seems to be acting normally, but she's still staring at me whenever she can. Sarah's parents then come in with Lauren's little boy who's 5 years old. I'm looking at this kid and Lauren and the only thing I can think of is that this boy looks like a carbon copy of me at his age, with some Lauren mixed in. I'm suddenly starting to remember that I took Lauren home from a bar close to 6 years ago, and I also remember convincing her to not use protection after I showed her my blood work. I'm just a sweaty, nervous mess for the rest of dinner, and I think Lauren realizes how she looked at me and the boy that maybe I realized too. And an even more effed up part, I think Lauren was visiting Sarah the weekend I took her home. They probably had a girls' night out that weekend with their friends and I took Lauren home, so Sarah was probably at the same bar that night. Sarah asked me if I was okay and I just told her I wasn't feeling well. I didn't go to work yesterday and today and just took sick days. I don't know what the F to do. Lauren obviously isn't saying anything. I have no clue if she was married at the time and I don't want to ask Sarah because I don't want her to get suspicious about my asking. I don't even know how I feel about possibly being a father. I'm 95% sure this kid is mine. Looked nothing like the husband. Do I just shut up? I never cheated on Sarah, obviously, but she knows how much of a player I was and it took her a while to get past my number. I don't know how she'd react if she knows I knocked up her cousin years before knowing her. This is vain and superficial about Sarah, and I love her to death, but she absolutely hates it if something is considered trashy or low class. I honestly think it's possible she'd leave me if I knocked up her cousin. I can't lose her. She's literally the best thing that's ever happened to me. Well, OP, in my opinion, you gotta come clean about this, even if there is a little bit of doubt in your head. If you know that you did take Lauren home, then you at least gotta tell your girlfriend. You've already been upfront with her about the type of person that you were before you met her. And in my opinion, hiding this, or hiding the fact that you had a one-night stand with Lauren and hoping for the best is a loser strategy. Because she is gonna find out one way or another, and honestly, it's best if the truth came from you rather than she finding out from some other source and then confronting you about it. So yeah, OP, in my opinion, you have to come clean. You haven't lied to your girlfriend yet, but if you choose to not say anything about this, then you will. And what do you guys think about this whole situation? What would you do if you were in OP's shoes? Let me know in the comment section, and now let's move on to just one community comment that said everything that OP needed to hear. OwnCrew3394 says, I'm guessing a lot of the commenters on this are men. I'm a 52-year-old woman. The number one most important thing in a relationship for me, and for all of the women I know, is trust. Honesty, trust, and having each other's back. This is why women sometimes can't forgive cheating. It's not the sex, it's the breach of trust. If you were my boyfriend or husband, I would want you to put me first before Lauren, meaning literally come to me first. Like, quote, I have to tell you something that's really stressing me out. Do you know how I told you I had a lot of irresponsible drunken sex a few years ago? When I met Lauren the other night, she looked really familiar. I'm so ashamed to tell you this, but I am pretty sure I hooked up with her in this month of that year. I'm not sure if she recognized me, but I think she might have. I felt like she was looking at me strangely. I was so stressed out about it that I lied to you and said I felt sick. Well, that wasn't really a lie because I wanted to puke and I'm still completely sick about this. I can't bear to lose you, but I can't lie to you and not tell you about this. Please help me figure this out. What should I do? Then let her go through all the stages of figuring this out with you. Let her say, "OMG, is that your kid?" while you put your face in your hands and moan. If you do what all these guys are suggesting, try to do damage control and go talk to Lauren behind your girlfriend's back, you are completely effed. It's not the crime, it's the cover-up. If you talk to Lauren, figure out you are the biofather, and then drop the whole story on your girlfriend, there is no way in hell she will ever believe that you just figured this out now. She will feel doubtful about what you knew, when you knew it, how you feel about Lauren, when you last slept with Lauren, etc, etc. If you want a life with Sarah, go to Sarah and ask for her help. If she dumps you, she is only dumping you for something you already told her about, your past behavior. And she is got over it once. She might get over it again. Right now, you are in the most forgivable, least guilty position possible. You have never lied to Sarah about your past, and you aren't going to start now. You did not turn your back on your child or the mother of your child. You did not know. If this kid was your baby, you weren't informed at the time. If Sarah and Lauren are close and Lauren did have a pregnancy and conceal it from the biofather, she may know all about it and maybe be aware the biofather wasn't notified. Oscar Wilde once said, "Ignorance is like a delicate flower. Touch it and the bloom is off." Women are insanely perceptive of micro-expressions on their partner's faces. If you find out anything and hide it from her for 24 hours while you think about it, she will already feel in her bones you are lying and don't trust her. She is probably still wondering what the F was going on with you at the party. If you do anything else besides go to Sarah first, you are most likely done for. Trust that your partner can love you enough to get through this with you. Tell her as soon as possible before Lauren comes forward and says something. If by any chance Lauren is passing your bio kid as her husband's bio kid, she may try taking some defensive actions, who knows what. Or maybe Lauren will tell your girlfriend it's you and that's why you acted sick at the party. OMG, don't roll the dice, go to her, throw yourself on her mercy and ask for her help. Like others have said, if you and this kid share some DNA, the chance of him figuring this out in your lifetime is extremely high. Rip the band-aid off and deal with it now. And OP responds, "Thank you, I really appreciate your post. I will definitely talk to Sarah first and follow your advice on how to break it to her if I can muster up the courage. I'm panicking at the possibility of losing her." Additional information from OP's comments. I searched Sarah's calendar for the kid's birthday and the timing works out. I don't know if Lauren was married, I don't know if asking will raise suspicions. I'm still processing how I feel about the kid and to be honest, don't know how to feel. My ideal situation is Sarah doesn't leave me, that's all that matters and I'll do anything to make sure she stays. I don't know how to feel about the kid. He seemed happy with his parents. They live several states away. Sarah wants kids in the future, maybe 3 to 4 years. Now, I just want to clear up that I didn't pressure her, Lauren. I made a request and pulled up my phone and showed her my latest blood work. Medical labs email you your results these days. She said she was clean too, and that's it. Yes, a hugely irresponsible and stupid on my part, but I was a different person back then. Alright, well I think that commenter gave OP all the advice he needed. He said so in his reply, and he also gave us a little bit more context as to how he's feeling and everything that's going on. So now let's move on to the first of 2 updates to see what happened next. But before that, of course, I gotta show you another playlist, like this one, that only has stories with updates on them. Now, let's move on to the update. After 3 days of staying at home and feeling sick to my stomach with nervousness about this, I finally told Sarah last night after my last post. Thank you so much, user OwnCrew3394, because that post gave me the push to spill my guts. As embarrassing as it is, I cried from beginning to end telling Sarah and pretty much told her I don't want to live without her. She held my hands in bed and patiently listened about how I recognized Lauren, remembered our night, and how seeing that kid mentally broke me because I saw my future with Sarah jeopardized as soon as I saw him. She told me she was upset I didn't tell her as soon as we left her parents' place and to never keep something like this from her again, but she understood I was scared. She said she's not leaving me because I never betrayed her in the last 3 years we've been together, and we'll figure this out too. And she said she'll reach out to Lauren herself and ask out what's going on because she's been with her husband for 10 years now, and if she's my one-night stand from years ago, she definitely cheated. We then had an even more uncomfortable talk about the type of things I've done in my past and wanted to know if there are any more surprises she needs to be ready for. Said she knows I was promiscuous and a bit of a reckless idiot, but we kind of swept everything under the rug when we got together because we both agreed we wanted a fresh start. And after this fiasco, that might have been a bad idea, so she wants to know everything in detail now, but we can have that talk another time. I don't feel great about this, but I'll deal with this hurdle when it comes up. Sarah has been home with me trying to get in touch with Lauren since morning and has been getting completely stonewalled. Finally, Lauren texted her, "Please, just let it go." Sarah asked her again if they could just have a quick chat or even if the text is okay, but Lauren insisted on just let it go please. I'm guessing Lauren realized I told Sarah everything. We don't know how to proceed from here on out. We're deciding to just respect her wishes and not pursue this further. Lauren also just changed her response to our wedding invitation to a no-show. Sarah's kind of upset about this, but honestly, I'm fine with this outcome. We always planned to leave the US in a few years anyway. I got a lot of messages asking me to just shut up, and I was honestly ready to go that route, but I think the worry was actually physically making me sick. Anyway, thanks everyone for the advice. Much appreciated. Congratulations OP, communication once again holds up and helps OP save his relationship. Good for you. Now regarding Lauren, I think that what she's doing is wrong if she is passing your bio kid as her husband's bio kid. And even though I believe he deserves to know the truth if that's it, well, we're not here to comment on Lauren. So now let's move on to the final update to see how this story ends. Everyone is concerned about the child and I agree. The situation is messed up and I would like to know if my partner ever cheated. But the fact of the matter is, this will likely destroy an otherwise happy family. It's possible Lauren's husband knows she strayed and they moved past it and she doesn't want to revisit it. She didn't really want to talk to us, so we don't know. I'm trying to move past this situation. In any case, both Lauren and her husband are incredibly successful in their fields and live in an affluent area and can provide the best life for their kid. Sarah and I are still building our careers and about to begin our own lives, and people have been asking whether I care about the kid. Yes, of course I do. I saw myself when I saw him, but I don't even know him. I'm okay with not being in his life, and if in the future he somehow finds out and decides to find me, we can deal with it then. But right now, I'm fine staying at a distance and seeing him through Facebook pictures and starting my life with Sarah. Hope that didn't come off as heartless, but I'm truly thinking about what's best for him. Finally, I got a ton of messages from people telling me I'm a horrible piece of crap. Yeah, I wasn't a nice guy before, and I fully accept that. But I did not abuse or force women. How the hell do some of you jump to that conclusion? Did I use women? Yes, and for that, I'm sorry. If I could take it back, I would. Also, there are a lot of people attacking my fiancé as well and saying I harassed her for a year. Again, jumping to conclusions. She's an amazingly tough person and wouldn't have allowed that. She's the greatest woman I've met in my life, and the people sending those messages would be lucky to have someone like her as a friend, let alone a significant other. Anyway, Lauren has started responding to some of Sarah's messages. She sent us a gift and wished us well and apologized for not being able to come to the party. We'll sit down and talk about everything in the future, but for now, just giving her the time and respect to digest everything that's happened. Whatever happened between her and her husband, we don't even know the details of. Sarah mentioned to me they were going through some stuff around the time we hooked up, but I'm not going to just jump to random conclusions and ruin the family by blabbing my mouth now. Most of you are irrational maniacs prone to making drastic decisions. As far as the boy, he's beautiful, and of course, I feel for him. More reason to make sure he's impacted as little by this as possible. Do I want to be his father? Honestly, I'm not really sure. He's loved and he has a father and a home. I don't want to disturb that. Please stop messaging me with insults and threats. You come off as an unhinged idiot. Alright, at least Lauren is talking to Sarah again, so they might be able to clear up some things there. So on that note, OP, all the best in the future for both you and Sarah. Take care and thank you so much for sharing with us. Now, let's finish this video off with a mood booster post. This post is from the subreddit Malicious Compliance, and it's by user Victory122. Complain to whomever I want? You bet! Hi all, it's my first post here. Also, English isn't my first language, so please forgive any mistakes. For some background, the last school year has been challenging for me at work. I'm an English high school teacher, not in the US, and the work environment at that school has been going from bad to worse as the school year progressed. Our principal has created a very hostile and toxic work and learning environment that has made many young teachers leave, even at the start and middle of the year, very uncommon in my country. I, 32 male, and many of the other teachers have felt bullied and oppressed. Our complaints went unheard and ridiculed, with the principal targeting many of us, young and experienced teachers alike, for public shaming sessions. And my turn came last week. I asked for a meeting with her to discuss my desire to go back to university next year to complete my thesis, which would have resulted in me taking Tuesdays off. All teachers in my country get a day off, which is usually for us to choose. As soon as I walked in, she called the pedagogical administrator and they both started a 30-minute shaming session. I was told that I am a lousy teacher, my classes are boring, they never attended any of my classes, that I have conspired to ruin English teaching at our school and that students, parents, other teachers, and administrators have been complaining about me. She wants teachers to work full-time, which she knows I planned on doing anyway and have been asking for it for 2 years, and advised me to take a break from teaching, unpaid leave. I was shocked and speechless. In my 3 years at that school, I received only praise from everyone I worked with. My students, their parents, and colleagues love me, to which I have written proof. The following day, I went ahead and turned in my notice. She called me a liar. I told other teachers what happened as they saw me coming out pale and on the verge of tears out of her office and said that I couldn't take criticism. She has also started lying about me to colleagues and other school principals. They all know me and told me. She also told me to complain to whomever I want. Cue Malicious Compliance. Following excellent advice I got on Am I the A-hole, I went to file the complaint until I secured a new position. However, I decided to follow that last bit of advice from her. I sent it to whomever I thought might be interested. The Regional English Teaching Inspectorate, the Regional General Inspectorate, the Teachers Union, and any other official and inspector I knew in my country's Ministry of Education. And the best part? Every teaching college and program in a 200-kilometer radius, which included the most prominent and largest education programs in my country and area. The fallout. The principal had to beg the ministry to send them new teachers, as quite a few of us left at the end of last year. Most of the poor English teachers she did get contacted me via mutual friends and colleagues, asking me for help getting new positions as the work environment has only gotten worse, a request to which I gladly obliged. The complaint itself didn't impact the principal professionally, but she will have a pretty difficult time filling positions for the next few years. A few colleagues from that school will join me next year, as they kept calling me to vent about the worsening conditions there, so I just told them to send me their CVs, which my coordinator was more than happy to receive. As for me, I found a wonderful school outside of my city where I could rediscover my love of teaching. Not only have I found a place where I feel good, but I also found a second job. I now teach at my local college where the hourly rate is 5 times my school's salary. I have also found the courage to start something I always wanted to do, move to another country, which I'm on track to do in 2024. Well, OP, she told you that you could complain to whomever you want, and that's exactly what you did, so thank you so much for sharing your story, and all the best with your goal for 2024. And that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so here are a couple more that you might enjoy. And if you don't have any time to watch another story right now, save it for later, and also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.